welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make this delicious 5-course meal. Mac and cheese, loaded mash, garlic butter shrimp, steak, and corn on the cob. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. All right, friend, let's get into it. So this is the steak that I'm using. I'm using some rib eye bone and steak, okay? You could use whatever kind of steak your heart so desire. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to clean our steak. We're going to clean it with some lime juice. Okay, we're going to put the lime juice on there and maneuver it all over the steak. If you do not like to clean your meat, you do not have to, okay? You can always skip this part, but I enjoy cleaning my meat, so you will always see me clean my meat, okay? We love clean meat in our mouth. And I'm not only talking about steak. All right, then we're going to go ahead. We're going to rinse it off. The lime is not going to affect the taste of the steak at all, okay? Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a paper towel. We're going to pat the steak dry. And the reason we're patting it dry is because when we're cooking it, we want it to sizzle and not boil. And if it have that excess water, it will boil and it will not sizzle. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to put some extra virgin olive oil on there. And we're going to put it on both sides of the steak. Then we're going to start seasoning our steak. First, we're going to use the steak and chop seasoning. Oh my God, friend. You better get you one of these. If you want your life to be changed, you better get you one of these, friend. I'm trying to good on your steak. It makes the steak taste so good. You will love this. I'm trying to tell you. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put about 1 teaspoon of that on each steak. Then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna grab my Monterey steak seasoning and I'm gonna put about 1 teaspoon of that on the steak as well. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll make sure I maneuver it all around. You know, that's a thick piece of steak. We want to make sure that it is well marinated, it is well seasoned so that it can have some flavor, okay? So we're just going to put that all over it. Make sure every piece of the steak is covered with some seasoning, just like that, friend, okay? Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to flip the steak over and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. We're going to go ahead, we're going to turn it over and we're going to use the same seasonings, about 1 teaspoon of each seasoning on each steak. Remember, friend, if you're not using the same kind of steak as me, you might want to change the amount of seasoning that you're adding because my steak is nice, big, juicy, and thick. And that's how I like all my meat. Yours might not be as thick, okay? So I'm just trying to let you know. To me, that's enough. We're going to make sure we pat that in there. Make sure it is well into the steak. And baby, your steak should look a little something like this when you're done seasoning it up. Look at that. Look at that. That thing is so beautiful. You already know it's about to be delicious. We're going to go ahead. We're going to set that on the side. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to start working on our other stuff. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some red skin potatoes. You could use whatever kind of potatoes you want. And you're going to go ahead. You're going to peel them. Or you could keep the skin on, baby. Whatever you want to do. It really don't matter. Next, we're going to go ahead. We're going to cut them up into smaller pieces. And the reason for this is so that they can boil faster. If you put them in the water just like that, friend, it's going to take a year and a day for them to cook. Okay? So we're going to go ahead. We're going to cut them up small. Put them in some water. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to put some 2 tablespoons of chicken flavored bouillon. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to let them boil. Once we poke them with a fork like that and it goes right through, that's how we know our potatoes are boiled. And I also went ahead and took 4 garlic cloves and I minced them. And I went ahead and I strained the potatoes. Next, we're going to go ahead. We're going to put those potatoes back into that same pot. And we're going to take our potato masher and we're going to mash those potatoes. You can always use an electric hand mixer as well. It's all up to you and what you want to do. We're going to put a pot on the stove at low heat, like 3-4, because you don't want your butter to burn. We're going to put a stick of butter and then we're going to go ahead and put the minced garlic in there. This is going to make your mashed potatoes taste so good. God's gift to earth. You will never make mashed potatoes a different way. I'm trying to tell you. Once that's nice, done, and cooked, you're going to go ahead. You're going to maneuver everything in there, put everything together. Then you're going to go ahead. You're going to add some heavy whipping cream. When it comes to the heavy whipping cream, you're going to add a little bit at a time, okay? Because when you're cooking, you can always add, but you can never subtract, okay? So you're going to add a little bit of at a time. And if you see it needs more, you can put more. If you see it's good, then don't add no more. Then I went ahead and I put 2 ounces of sour cream, 2 ounces of cream cheese, and 2 tablespoons of sour cream, okay? Then I went ahead and I put about a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in there, and I went ahead and mixed everything together. Now I'm adding my seasonings. I'm adding some garlic powder, onion powder, and some salt. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to mix everything together so they can become one as a unit. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my parsley, and I'm going to put some parsley in there until I hear the cry of my ancestors. Say that's enough. All right. And baby, your mashed potatoes should look a little bit something like this. And they shouldn't be too runny, but they shouldn't be too thick. That's how I like mine. You can change the consistency of yours if you don't like that kind of consistency, baby. Okay. But this is what I like. Next, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take another pot. We're going to put 3 tablespoons of the chicken flavored bouillon Maggi. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to put that on the stove. And we're going to let it come to a boil. Once it starts boiling and it look a little something like this, we're going to add our noodles. This is the noodles that I'm using. You could use whatever kind of noodles your heart so desire. We're going to put all those noodles in there. We're going to go ahead. We're going to mix it and we're going to let it boil. You can follow the directions on the back of your box that will let you know how long to cook your noodles for, okay? But I believe mine were cooking for approximately 10 minutes to maybe 7 to 10 minutes. I don't know. Follow the recipe on the back of your box. Then after that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to strain that, and we're going to go ahead and start making our cheese sauce for this, okay? First thing we're going to do is add about 2 cups of heavy whipping cream to this pot. We have the pot like at low heat, like at 6, 7. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to add some mozzarella cheese, okay? You could chop it up before. You don't have to chop it up like this. You could chop it up and then just put it all in the pot at once, but this was working for me, so I did it that way. I'm going to leave this a little bit because I'm going to shred it later to put on top of my mac and cheese. And this Monterey Jack cheese, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use half a block of that and put it into my cheese sauce. And friend, when making anything with cheese, it is better for you to use the cheese that comes in a block and not the one that's already shredded for you because of cellulose. And the one that's in a block is going to give you a more creamy and more cheesy and gooey look or sauce that you're looking for, okay? But I could not find Parmesan cheese in the block at Walmart. So, baby, I had to go ahead and just use the one that come in a bag. Don't judge me. You know what? Judge me. I don't care. Judge me. That's your business. But if you could find the one that's the block, then I would always recommend using the block instead, okay? But I could not find it, so I had to do what I had to do. Friend, don't judge me because you can't find your baby daddy and I ain't judging you. You know what? Let me mind my business. Moving on. I did go ahead and add the Parmesan cheese. I added the whole bag in there, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put some bacon bits. You can add as much as you want until you hear the cry of your ancestors, friend. And you guys, do not forget that I will have the exact measurement and recipe for you in the description box below. Have no fear. You already know your girl Freddie is here. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to add our noodles, and then we're going to mix everything together until they become one as a unit, until every single noodle got some of that cheese sauce, and to some of that cheese sauce got some of that noodle, friend. And ooh, baby, look at that mac and cheese. Look how that mac and cheese looking at you. Look at how the bacon bits just looking at you, talking about some I know your wants, man. And I do. Yes, friend. But next we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna grab our corn, put them in an aluminum tray, and I just put them in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Very easy, very simple, very cutesy, very demure, okay? Not too much. Very easy to make the corn. We're going to just go ahead, put that in the oven just like that, friend. You see? Boom. Next, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take our shrimp. We're going to start cleaning our shrimp, okay? I got the ones where you had to peel them. So I did go ahead and I peeled the shrimp, but I'm going to leave the tail on. And the reason for this is because it's just for decor. It's just going to make the food look more pretty, more appealing to the eye. So that's why I'm leaving it on. If you want to take yours off, be my guest. But I'm going to leave mine on because we need that beauty. We want, when people eat, the first thing they do is eat with their eyes. Then I went ahead, I removed the skin from it, the scale, whatever, shell. Then I went ahead and I removed the stomach lining. I didn't have to do the back because they already did it for me, okay? But I always like to remove the stomach lining right here. I'm just going to take it, put my knife right through it, just like that. I'm going to put my knife up underneath and I'm going to pull it up just like that, you guys, okay? I always like to clean my shrimp like this. If you don't want to, You ain't got to do it, okay? Then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab some organic lime juice and I'm put that in there just so the shrimp is from the sea. And, baby, seafood be smelling like seafood, baby. You don't want it to smell like too much. Baby, if somebody ever tell you smell like seafood or you smell like the sea, girl, that's not a compliment, okay? So, yes, we're going to go ahead. We're going to put a little lime juice in there because we don't want to smell that fishy smell, okay? It's going to help with that. Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a paper towel. We're going to pat it dry. We're going to start seasoning our shrimp. We're going to use some lemon pepper seasoning, about 1 teaspoon, not nothing too much, okay? We're going to go ahead and we make sure they all got some of that seasoning, mix it around, okay? Just like that, you guys. Just like that. And then after that, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take the shrimp. We're going to go ahead. We're going to put them into the bowl that we're going to cook them in. I'm going to cook them in these little pretty bowls just because at the end, I have a setup on how I want to set up my plate to feed my man, okay? But you could cook it in whatever container you want, okay? So I'm actually making 3 plates. I'm plating up 3 plates for 3 people. So I have 3 of these and each of them have approximately 6 shrimp. Then I went ahead and I put some garlic in there. This is fresh garlic that you see I'm mincing by myself. And in each of them, I'm putting 3 garlic cloves. Okay. As you can see, just like that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to mix the garlic all in there. I know you don't see it here, but I do make sure the garlic is well mixed in there so that it's underneath and it's not just sitting at the top of the shrimp. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add some butter. I'm going to add about 3 little things of butter. As you see now, I did approximately, I'll say 2 tablespoons of butter in each of them. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them in the oven. I'm going to take the mac and cheese. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put it in that same kind of container. I'm going to take some cheese that I shredded, which is the mozzarella and the Monterey Jack. And I'm going to put that on top of that. And baby, don't come for me talking about somebody ain't using gloves. Trust me, my man do not care, okay? Okay? And don't come over here lying, acting like every time you cook something at your house for you and your family, you be using gloves. Friend, because I know you lying. And just like Pinocchio, your nose going to grow. And last but not least, we're going to cook the steak. Make sure the steak is the last thing that you cook. Because, baby, if you don't, it was at that moment he knew you wasn't wifey material. Take a skillet. I'm going to put it on the stove at high heat. This is like at an 8 or a 9. We're going to go ahead. We're going to add some extra virgin olive oil. And you guys, you want this to get very hot, like smoke point, like this, to like it's smoking just like this, because you need it to sizzle. You need that sear on your steak, and that's what's going to give you that sear. When it's nice and hot, you're going to go ahead, you're going to place your steaks in there. You're going to place your steaks in there, and you're going to let your steaks cook for a little bit, about 2 to 3 minutes, okay? Depending on how you like your steak cooked, okay? If you like your steak medium well, medium rare, whatever, depending on how long you like to cook your steak. The less cook you like it, the shorter amount of time you cook it for. I like my steak medium well, okay? Medium well, not too medium, not too well, like right in the middle. So that's how I'm going to cook mine. You see when I flipped it over, you see that beautiful sear? You see how I got that beautiful color? Oh my goodness. And you see how it's sizzling and it's not boiling because I packed that steak dry. Then I went ahead, I put some garlic, some fresh garlic. I put a good amount, like 6, 7 pieces of garlic. Then I went ahead and I put some rosemary, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to let that cook. And again, approximately 3 to 4 minutes on each side for me, depending on how long you like your steak cooked. You can always cut a little piece of your steak just to see if it's cooked the way you like it, and then you will know, okay? Then I went ahead and added about a half a stick of butter on there, you guys. This is what's gonna make your steak taste good, which is the butter, rosemary, and the garlic, you guys. So you got to add those. Let it cook for a little bit, and just like that, baby, the steak is done. This is everything that's in the oven. We got our mac and cheese, we got our corn, and we have our shrimp. The shrimp was only in there for about 10 minutes. We do not put everything at the same time. We put everything at a different time. There was in there for about 10 minutes. I went ahead and I got some lemon, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to squeeze that on there, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mix it all over so that lemon could get into that sauce. Baby, this right here was so good. Friend, you have to taste it to believe it. Because, baby, then we're going to go ahead. We're going to grab our corn. We're going to take our corn out, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to put some melted butter on there, just like that. Again, this is about half a stick of butter. We just melted it, and we're going to put it all over the corn. The corn is done. Very simple. Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to plate our food. We're going to plate this on a cutting board just because I feel like that's what I wanted to plate it on. And then after that, we're going to put some mashed potatoes. We're going to put some cheese. This is Monterey Jack cheese. We're going to put some bacon bites right on it. Bacon bits right on there. Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to grab our shrimp, put that on the side. Grab our mac and cheese, put that on the side. We're going to grab our steak, put it right there in the middle. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to put a little garlic on there. And we're going to grab our corn and we're going to put that right there. I didn't show you guys in this one, but I also did put some chives on the bacon, on the mashed potatoes. And baby, look at this. Ooh, child, let's go ahead and give this beautiful 5-course meal a moment of silence for the beauty that it holds. Yes, child. Yes. Look at that mac and cheese, baby. It's so creamy and so gooey. Yes. Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to cut into our steak. And baby, that steak is so juicy. You could look at the steak and tell it's juicy. You could look at the steak and tell it's juicy and it is not dry. You could see the what. Bruh, man, I'm trying to tell you. Look at this steak. It is cooked to perfection, just the way I like it. You could cook it less or more. Mine is perfect. It's a little bit of red, but not too much. That's how I like it. And baby, it don't get no better than that. I literally had to make this 2 times in a row, okay? When I first made it, my boyfriend posted a picture on Instagram and everybody went crazy, okay? So his cousin wanted to come to dinner. We went ahead and made it for him for dinner. He gave it to some of his family members. And baby, my phone been blowing up ever since. Everybody's asking me why don't I invite them to dinner when I'm going to invite them for a plate. Friend, you can't go wrong with this recipe. I'm trying to tell you. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Bye. Until next time.